Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. Now you join me today at my woodland retreat, Oak Lodge, and it's a place I come to. I particularly love coming here in the winter months to find a bit of solitude, a bit of time to think, and often to answer some of the questions which you folks send me. And don't forget, I'm always delighted to receive a question from you on any subject: sartorial, self-development, personal grooming. Ask away. You'll find my email address in the About section on the main YouTube channel. So feel free, send me a question. And today's question, which I have cut out and put in my journal here, is from Itushihab, whoever that is. And his or her question is, "Hey Ash, your seasoned sartorial content has taught me well in the past few months. I'm looking to develop some solutions for my own niche. And what is the biggest problem or need that you have experienced in the sartorial space?" Now that's a good question, because I get probably hundreds of questions and queries from you folks out there who pose me something that you'd like my observations on. And I do tend to see certain things coming up time and time again. Now, the first thing I would say is that we're all on a sartorial life journey, all right? And we will be at different stages of that journey at any given time. Now, if you entered my life when I was in my early 20s, I was not somebody who understood the classical style, which very much forms my goal today in the way that I dress and the way I attempt to present myself to the world. You know, when I was younger, I was far more impressionable by, not social media then, I'm a little bit old for that, but you know, the brand identities which were very popular in that era, and things which led you to think that if you wore an item with a certain logo on it, it meant you were trendy and fashionable. That was my life as a younger person. We all have to understand that we are on that style pilgrimage and we're at different stages. So I'm giving you my perspective now from the stage that I've achieved. But wherever you are on your journey, think about that question. What is it that you see in other people, in the way that they dress and the way that they present themselves, which puts your back up, which makes you think that looks awful? And you're starting to form your own taste, your own opinion, if you can see things in other people, and then you will discount it from your own ensemble of clothing as you go along. But I do see some things very often, and here they come. Okay, now my number one thing that I see often, which I think destroys the look of people's stylish clothes, is, and this is an old classic, the fit is terrible. All right, it really pains me when I see people, men, generally chaps, who have invested probably a lot of money in their outfit, and it's a really nice look, but it's ruined by the fact it doesn't fit them very well. And there's different areas which I often see that things don't fit too good. So for instance, a jacket. Most men tend to prefer a rather loose fit on their clothing, all right? And they tend to be baggy, quite loose, doesn't hug the figure at all, doesn't show you off to be the best version of yourself. My advice to gentlemen is, if you're thinking about buying a jacket, and maybe you're in a department store, you pick out the size you normally have. Let's say, for argument's sake, you're a 42 chest. Instead of trying that 42 chest on, try the 40. See if it fits a little snugger, if it works well around your body. Jackets too large is a common thing I see. And the flip side of that, particularly with younger men who are physically in good condition, they tend to wear things which are too small for them, in the mistaken belief that having something which is really tight to the body shows off their musculature and their physicality. But actually, I'm sorry to tell you this, gentlemen, if you fit into that category, it just makes you look as if you're wearing, you know, a garment which is a size too small for you. Get the right fit. When it comes to the sleeves of your jacket, all right, I don't like to see a sleeve which is too long, which covers, you know, down to the thumb, or too short, which displays too much of the cuff of the shirt worn underneath. If you're wearing a sports jacket or a blazer, you should be displaying a 1/4 to 1/2 an inch of the shirt that you're wearing under that jacket at the cuff area. Any more or any less is too much or too little. When it comes to your trousers, Trousers which are too short, so the trouser is sitting proud of the ankle, you can see the entirety of a gentleman's sock, or too long, where the material has pooled around the lace area of the shoes, there's excess material, trousers are too long, also looks awful. But the good news is, all of these things have an easy fix. A trip to the tailor or the seamstress. They will be able to easily make those alterations and get that garment to fit you well, so that you look the very best version of yourself. Now, the number 2 thing which I see very often, which I think destroys the look of many men's outfits, is poorly maintained footwear. And when I say maintained, I mean shined, all right? The shoe is such an important part of your wardrobe of clothing, because when somebody meets you, they will look you up and down, and normally the eyes will rest at the bottom of your trousers and they'll see your shoes. If your shoes are grimy, dirty, scruffy, they've had no attention lavished upon them, the person who's taking you in will draw an inference from it. They will think, oh, you're somebody who doesn't really care about his appearance, doesn't take care of the details. And that's, once you've made a first impression, it is really difficult to change that first impression. It's so easy, right? It is so easy. There is no excuse for not looking after your shoes. All you need to do is buy a tin of polish and a little brush, and you're on your way. It's a really good start. That is all you need to begin. As you get more accomplished and perhaps you take more of a passion and an interest in maintaining your good quality footwear, then you can buy things like leather conditioner, leather cream polish, and wax polish. You'll understand what each of these things does, and you know how it will make your shoe look better, it will perform better over time, and it will make the shoe last a lot longer, as well as pushing out that great first impression. Look after your shoes and you will make a great impression. Now, the number 3 thing that I see very often when people destroy their sartorial look and they end up not being an intentionally well-dressed man, but an intentionally scruffy man, is poor attention to ironing. All right, I say this over and over again. Pick up the iron and put the time in, because it will make a hell of a lot of difference. All right, if you've got a shirt in the wardrobe that you're thinking about wearing without ironing it, stop right there, right? You're going to look scruffy, you're going to have that crumpled look about you, you're going to look like you've slept in your clothes. I would rather you not wear an iron shirt or an unironed shirt than wear one at all. It simply looks bloody dreadful. The secret is just to get the iron and give it a run over. Now, let's be honest, right? An iron is not an expensive item. Here in the UK, I could probably go to any supermarket and pay £20 for a steam iron in their homeware department, and it will last me 5 to 10 years. And it will be great for keeping all my kit in excellent condition. Learn how to iron. And when it comes to your trousers, all right, this is where the iron is really at its peak. If your trousers come to you when you purchase them with a crease down the front, that means they're meant to have a crease ironed in them. If they don't have a crease, like a pair of chinos or a pair of jeans, you don't have to iron them with a crease at the front. You do have to iron them to stop them looking crumpled, but you don't iron a crease to the front. That finely creased, bladed look, which looks so smart, that we often admire on military men, for instance, in their uniforms. They take attention to detail on the crease in their trousers. If you do the same, you iron those trousers, get a crease in there. Be careful, mind, make sure you use an ironing cloth. Don't damage the clothing that you're ironing. Understand how to iron. Read the ironing instructions inside the garment. Never put an unprotected iron onto something like polyester, because it runs the risk of singeing it, damaging it. Be careful what you're doing, but learn how to iron, and iron your clothes. You will look so much better for the sake of just a few minutes on the iron. Now, my number 4 suggestion for you to avoid all of the mistakes I see people making all the time is keep it simple. All right, I often see people who are seeking to dress a little better, and they go from 0, so dressing very casually, to 100 miles an hour all in one go. They start wearing flamboyant pocket squares that are spilling out of the pocket. They start wearing, bold patterns. They'll wear a bold pattern shirt, a bold pattern sports jacket. They'll wear a cravat, a bow tie. They will go nuts. They'll throw it all at the wall in the hope that it'll elevate their style and make them look better. And what it really makes them look like is that they're desperate for visual attention. Now, in my experience, right, I've been playing a part in the sort of men's style journey for quite a while now, and I've been on my own journey for life, so I know, what I like. And I can tell you now, the things that look the best are often the simplest. Something like a navy blazer. That is all the average gentleman needs to look smart and presentable and stand out from the crowd. And if we're talking about a head-to-toe ensemble, let us picture a man in perhaps the simplest of gentlemen's formal outfits. A charcoal, two-buttoned, notched lapel, single-breasted suit, jacket and trousers. Simple as that, worn with a white shirt with a single block-coloured tie, and on his feet, black cap-toe Oxfords. These are the simplest elementary building blocks for the gentleman's outfit. But when you put them all together and you do it well, you iron the shirt, you iron the crease in those trousers, you polish those shoes, it looks spectacular. And if you want to do the little bits and pieces, yes, you can wear a pocket square. But in the outfit I've just described, a white pocket square with a straight fold is all that's necessary to add visual interest and make your outfit look quite sparkling. Don't go nuts, all right? Simple is often the best in classical, timeless style. Now, the fifth thing that I often see people failing at when trying to look good is they have a total disconnect between the cost of something and the quality of something. Now, it pains me when I see people going out and spending hundreds of pounds on a pair of jeans, or maybe £100 on a t-shirt, simply because it's got a certain logo on the breast or on the jeans. They have gone for the brand rather than the quality. And there's not normally a good relationship between the brand and the quality. Some of these highly expensive, highly sought after brand items are often made on the other side of the world in questionable human rights situations where people are earning, livable wages making these products. They're not being made from the finest components in the world, and they actually don't last very long. The quality, quite simply, isn't there. I much think people need to invest their time in understanding quality. The heritage brands that have been around a few hundred years, when it comes to things like shoes, gloves, some of the brands in this country here, my country, the United Kingdom, I was looking at Dent's gloves the other day. They've been in existence for nearly 250 years manufacturing gloves in the factories, where people have been working for generations producing these products. They are amazing quality. But somebody might buy a different branded item because that brand is in fashion and nobody's ever heard of Dent's. Do you see what I mean? There's a disconnect between the cost of things and the quality of things. And it normally is related to the identity of the brand involved. So if you're somebody thinking about going out and buying a big name purchase, because you like this brand, and you want to be seen as one of the in crowd because you're wearing a jacket with a certain name on it or a pair of sneakers with a certain brand identity, think again. What actually is the quality of that item? If it's costing you $500 and it cost the manufacturer $10 to make, I don't think that's good value for money, and it's not actually going to be good quality, and it's not going to do anything for your style either. It's going to be transitory, it'll be with you for a short period of time, and it'll be in landfill with all of the other crap which was fashionable a few years ago. It is far better to invest your hard-earned money in quality items that are going to last a long time and going to pay you back time and time again. Okay then, now we've finally reached it. It's my last observation. The thing that I see failing many men is their own fear of being well-dressed is what defeats them in the end. I know many people, many wannabe intentionally well-dressed men, they stumble and they fall because they lack the self-esteem and the confidence to carry off the look that they seek to portray to the world. I'll give you an example. You might want to step up your look. You want to be really stylish. You've put the tie on, you've got the shirt, you've got the blazer, but you go into work, you're going to that team meeting, You look in through the window and you can see that none of the other men in the room are wearing a tie. You suddenly got this sense of fear. I'm going to look a fool. I'm going to be the only man in the room wearing a tie. I'm going to feel really self-conscious. So you nip into the toilet and you remove your tie. So you look exactly the same as all the others. You've just allowed your own lack of self-esteem to defeat you. If you had worn that tie into the room, you would have been the best dressed man in the room. People would have looked at you and thought, wow, Charlie's stepping up his game. He looks a bit smarter today. And before you know it, people are altering their opinion about you, merely because you've taken the time and effort to accessorize your outfit. Don't let your fear of standing apart from the crowd defeat you. Own that look. You have taken the thought, the time and the trouble to wear the pocket square. Don't pull it out at the last moment because you're afraid people will look at you and think, why the hell is he dressing up? Nobody else wears a pocket square. That's the point, isn't it? The fact that you've made the effort is what makes you stand apart. We set the example for others to follow. We don't seek to follow the herd. We seek to lead the herd. That is the goal of the intentionally well-dressed man. So please, please, never let this sense of, lack of confidence hold you back. Swallow it down. Own that look. Wear the tie. Wear the pocket square. Put those creases in your trousers. Step apart. Wear the jacket when everybody else is just wearing a shirt. You know why you want to do it. It's because you want to look better. You want to show people you're a smart person and you've thought about the way that you look today. So there we go, folks. Before I go back into my hut to warm up, because it's rather chilly, those were my 6 things which I have seen most commonly defeating people when it comes to dressing well and looking stylish. They let themselves down a little bit, but the good news is, if you think about everything that I just said, they can all be easily overcome. None of them cost a great deal of money at all, actually. It's all about what's in the mind. It's all about what's going on between the ears and the way that you focus your purchasing, the way that you think about the way that you wear clothes. Simple things like polishing your shoes, ironing your trousers. These can make the world of difference and they cost nothing. It can be so easily changed for the better to make you the better version of yourself that you know that you can be. So if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, click that red button, come on the journey with me as a subscriber. And if you'd like to practically support the channel, probably the best way to do that is to buy me a coffee. I'd love to have a coffee with you. If you go to the show notes below, you'll find a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page. It'll be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to go back in my hut now, and I'm going to write in my journal and chill out and enjoy this rather glum and cold winter's day here in southern England. Good times are around the corner, but if you dress well, every day is a good day. So until the next time, take care, and I will see you again very soon.